Joining us now is Mr. Karl Schilling. He's the founder of something called the Advocacy Network. Karl, welcome back to the program.
Yeah, Don, it's so great to be with you. Thanks so much.
It's been a little while since we had you on the show. Why don't you tell us again what you do?
Well, at the Advocacy Network, we help people avoid financial victimization. Recently, we've done it in a lot of different areas. We've worked mainly on finances, So in that financial arena now, we're doing a lot of work in the real estate side. So I'm working with a very big organization nationally on real estate, and there's a lot of financial victimization. We try to help people and protect them from, the biggest asset they ever have and biggest decisions they ever make is usually their homes.
Well, I didn't hear about that. What kind of scams are going on with homeowners?
Well, there's a lot of there's title fraud. People actually tag on. It's like identity theft, where people can actually steal titles, and then there's mortgage, a lot of mortgage fraud. There's a lot of things happen in real estate that people tend to take for granted and missteps. So
that's why they tell you never buy a house without an attorney.
Or in most states, the real estate professionals handle a lot of it. But I even tell people all the time, it doesn't hurt to have the attorney. It's an extra $400 or $500. I tell all the realtors you should have good relationships with several attorneys and get them involved. Because you just don't know. A real estate transaction happens, and people don't realize that 12 months later, there's still things that could have happened that put people in legal and litigative problems.
Well, speaking of 12 months, the last 12 months have been eventful in the world, and we're living in interesting times. How is that translated to financial victimization?
I think the kind of world we live in now has been a boom for financial victimization. One would think that, it would be harder, but it's actually easier, and people are more isolated. People don't have the protection of their family members oftentimes as they normally would. You don't have to get face-to-face anymore. Realistically, everything can be done like we're doing, virtually. And telephone scams are just on the rise. And, the elderly, and people with money, elderly, are out there and they're lonely and they're isolated. And it's just a bad combination, Don, a bad combination.
What are some of the most used scams these days?
The old ones are still back, the IRS calls, especially the IRS calls now, especially last year, it was so crazy with the IRS. People still get the Jamaican lottery scam. You'd think that that wouldn't happen, but it does. And, all of them. So it's mostly telephone scams, people calling you to let them in on your software, on your computer. People calling like they're from MSN and you got a problem and we want to get in, and you share a screen with them and they put something on there for you, a little virus in there, and they start getting all your information. So, there's just any number of things you can imagine.
Now, Karl, your organization has saved people millions of dollars. Tell us how you do that.
Well, we've worked real hard to help people before, Don, before it happens, constantly trying to make people aware, and then telling people for due diligence, you can use us to do due diligence to just check. We've had some investors and some people who've called us, and we've done the due diligence, to let them know. We don't tell them do or don't do. We tell them, we got a red flag system, 1 through 10. 7 to 10 red flags is like caveat emptor. It's like, you should avoid this like the plague, right? And, it's a nice little look before you make a decision financially, especially when it's involving tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Once again, the Advocacy Network. Karl, if people want to get a hold of you and learn more, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, they can find us at the advocacynet.com. That's the THE, advocacynet.com. And they can call me direct, 321-947-3220. Always available.
The Advocacy Network, helping people avoid financial victimization. Karl, you do great work. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Don. And congratulations on 25 years of success. Really appreciate it.